And welcome to Don't Get into the News Untold Story. I am Star Smart. Let's begin. Shedding light on the trials that befall the market trade of Bamenda. Emerging the ashes of serial arson, they tread cautiously, reopening the gates of their businesses. Yet, new concerns loom, same shadow that rent and devoid of the infrastructure embrace. There is discontent within their hearts. That on one hand, there's an unwavering devotion of the Amazon State Army that has honored the resolutes of the Ambazonian people. Remarkable backing that fuels the Ambazonian State Army's indomitable spirit toward the efforts of the terrorist forces deployed to Amazonia, who seek to advance the colonial agenda of La Republique du Cameroon. Meanwhile, the forces of occupation find themselves mired in frustration, bereft of the support they yearn for from people of Amazonia. The futile attempts to entice collaborations have met failure, forced to resort to the use of force. Oh, well, let's have the prime heads usher us into the free faithful Daunted tonight as we dig into these pressing name matters amongst others from around the world.
Here are the prime headlines for tonight. La Republic declares forces brutally trash Amazonians for unwilling to expose the whereabouts of the ASA. Note that the ASA opponent successfully chases the colonial army of La Republic to Cameroon. Now, this is a ghost town enforcement. Colonial City Council ignores trader strike of Rentai and asks all traders to pay the increased rent or forever remain sealed. Meanwhile, in the African reports, Niger junta ends its military relationship with the United States. Small years of will distract many countries, but definitely not China is on the global scene. Now let's get information. For the past few years, we have been bringing to you the of markets, men and women, merchants who have had to deal with the aftermath of the cereal and infant markets. As Bamenda cautiously reopens their shutters after a brief closure, traders facing ongoing challenges that could potentially overshadow their return to business as usual. One of the main concerns is revolved the recent increase in rates have been accompanied by noticeable improvements in infrastructure. This has led to a growth satisfaction amongst those. Colonial Mayor Paul Achambang raised issues in a statement given to BBC Africa and with market leaders. The colonial mayor's response, however, has caused surprise and left many uncertain about the next steps. Now, traders who want to reopen their shops should pay the rent, and those who do not wish to pay should file a complaint. This is what the colonial mayor Chambong stated outline a seemingly straightforward approach to the rent increases, but showing a lack of concern for the plight of the traders. You might wonder, aside a person's conscience being absent, where at least in their sense of responsibility, holding the position of a mayor. This is where we begin the full briefing on tonight. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, Omi. Report traders have expression stating that they expect tangible improvement in their market facilities to accommodate the increased financial burden. Although the statement provides guidance for traders, does not directly acknowledge the concern, the perceived lack of infrastructure improvements despite the increase in rent. A trader who requested to remain anonymous expressed their disappointment with the mayor's response and saying, "We acknowledge the importance of rents covering expenses. However, it is crucial to essential amenities like sanitation, lighting, and security." The situation has ignited discussions amongst traders, with some advocating for a more holistic approach that take into account financial responsibilities of and the need for infrastructure improvement. Amidst the rising dissatisfaction, there is a growing demand for a more cooperative conversation amongst industries, traders, and authorities.
Amidst the reopening of markets and the efforts of traders to navigate these challenges, the future remains uncertain. The Colonial Times News call for payment of rents and complaints may indicate a partial opening dialogue, but the markets community's central concern still revolves around the present infrastructure. Thanks to Colonial Mayor Chonbang for additional information regarding plans to address infrastructure upgrade, where until at the time of filing in this.
Well, currently, traders are monitoring the situation, really anticipating a reconsideration of the Colonial City Mayor's decision. It has been widely criticized for not prioritizing the need of the populace. Well, it is highly with the total negligence of the plight of that anything fruitful will come out of their for a reconsideration.
The Lowry Parents colonial government is that which justly certain the people suffering a colonial government that remounts for the plight of the country. The colonial government is able to provide their people with basics for comfortable living conditions like the construction, the provision of potable water, the equipment medicals for the best care services. This is the government that right person we want to associate Ambazonian with this field, Lowry Public Cameroon, for any reason whatsoever. Lowry Public Cameroon is a bad influence as governance is concerned.
Well, this has become more reason why the peoples of Ambazonian have united to flush the colonial government of Ambazonian soil. Amazonia must be completely independent to cut off these Lowry republics under the trap. Convinced that they do not anymore have support of the population, Lowry Public's colonial administrators have engaged in fake road elections to galvanize votes. So this was there. As the Lowry Public's colonial government abandoned these roads only to resurface ahead of elections to start elections on these roads. We wonder, why now, if not for election purposes?
Lowry Public government in move to scout ahead of the elections and in what we call fake construction roads. Construction projects at the Cameroon, the ring road in the zone of Ambazonian are to clean the face of the government that has failed to meet the expectations of the common man. The colonial Lowry Cameroon colonial government has never won an election. The present colonial so-called representatives of the people were never endorsed by the population. Only with the complicity of the terrorist forces their way to the corridor. This is the reason why these loyalists to the BS regime have never included the man in their agenda.
Well, face the people in more now seen ahead of them fake projects to appease the population, something that they might leave as soon as they get the votes they're looking for. Well, let me say that you can fool sometimes, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. The peoples of Amazon can never be cajoled with that are dead at birth to shake hands with the La Republic du Cameroon's colonial government. All that Amazon and the people of Ambazonia want is total separation from a La Republic government. Some of these projects ahead of election are always poorly done. Get top the road, the and then for a window, basically, the thickness is not close to sustainability, explaining of such a road in the Bamenda and Bingui Road that was said in the same in the name of tar, and then it no longer existed with potholes everywhere on this same kind of road compared to the to Mamfe that was tar and supervised bank. It is the best road so with a considerable thickness.
Ahead of the different elections, the Macedonian politicians are showing their faces. Where have they been since they took over office? Is the 1 million question we are asking. What is it after 4 years in office? The president of the Senate has been out of the country with old age and poor health. Has flown in the country at elections and the Senate to seek another mandate. Now, we're talking about a man who can barely walk. Well, the ring promised to the people of Amazon by President Paul Biya in 1985 is to be constructed. This project has seen so many commencements, yet nothing has been done. Ahead of every election, fake construction works will be only to be abandoned after the elections. And so, ahead of the elections in 2025, they have been engaged works on the ring road. It will only be abandoned as usual after the elections, and so the people should not even be deceived.
Oh, speaking of the Amazonian State Army, in their devotion, they have won the support of the people of Amazonia. It is this wonderful support that is given the Amazonian State Army unmatched energy they have in making it difficult for the terrorizing forces to Ambazonia to push forward the Republic du Cameroon colonial agenda. The terrorist forces, on the other hand, are rather frustrated as they lack this support from the people of Amazon. With all failed attempts on the part of the forces of occupation to lure the people collaborating with them, they have resorted to the use of force. The La Republic du terrorists last week, Thursday, March 14th, got the inhabitants of my village in Bui County beat up for refusing to expose the whereabouts of the Amazon, calling the local population black compulsory for the populace to know and give that information.
The people of Mar village in Buik current terrorist forces.
sovereign seal heart of southern Cameroons, the stoic guardian Zonia, a symbol steadfast as the unyielding spirit manifest in the unity of the land, the 13 counties. Encircling this earthen spire, a dove ease edges its up, untouched and serene. As it sours wings unfurled, it casts shadows on man, each feather a stroke of tranquility. Against the canvas of the heavens, the stars glimmer, the celestial acknowledgement of each county shares harmonious virtues. The dove, in its eternal, is not merely a bird, but an embodiment of the collective longing for a peaceful existence under a shared identity. Mountain founded in the richness of the earth, twin elephant tusks rise as naturals, their acts recommending capturable essence of the land spirit animals. This emblem, this of Ambazonia, is no mere insignia. It is the beacon that illuminates the path to shared prosperity. It is an oasis of unity in a world touched by discord, a visual whisper of a nation's promise, echoing across generations.
Welcome back. We'll move on with the next report. Looking at the strength of the Amazon army in their devotion that has won the support of Amazonia. It is one support that is given the ASA the unmatched energy they have in making things for the terrorist forces deployed to Amazonia to push forth the La République du Cameroon's colonial agenda. The terrorist forces, on the other hand, are rather frustrated at this support from the people of Amazonia. With all failed attempts on the part of the forces of occupation to people towards collaborating with them, they have resorted to the use of force. The La République du Cameroon last Thursday, March 14th, the inhabitants of Ma village in Bui County beaten up for to expose the whereabouts of the Amazonian State Army and the local population blacklegs. And we wonder, when has it become compulsory for the populace to know the ASA's whereabouts and give that information to the terrorizing forces of occupation?
The people of Mar Village in Bui County have been first to evacuate their homes by the La République de Cameroon's terrorist forces. The terrorist forces penetrated the village last Thursday, March 14, 2024, giving everybody a sneak of beating. The reason advanced by the forces of occupation was that the village of Mar were unwilling to expose to them the whereabouts of the Ambazonian State Army. Unable to stand the beatings and for the fear of the unknown, the population decided to flee for safety away from their homes. The inhabitants of Mar, like any other village in Ambazonia, have suffered a great deal as a result of the ongoing war in Ambazonia that has been on for 7 years and counting.
Oh, well, when the world is that done? But then at this time, when the people of Ma were being abused by the colonial La Republic forces, the terrorist forces asked the people of Ma why they were not like those of Tatum, who were feeding them with information that would help them have their way through the Ambazonian state army. This utterance from the terrorist forces can arise from perspectives. Three, even. The first, they might have used the name of the people of Tatum just to convince those of Ma to collaborate with them. If this school of thought is true, then the talks failed in their convince the people of Ma village in Bui County to partner with them against the Ambazonian State Army. Now, the second thought to these declaration about the collaborative habit of the people of Tatum against the ASA is that if it is true, then the people of Tatum are indeed blacklegs and an enemy to the fight for the freedom of Ambazonia. But then the third possible perspective is the modus operandi of French Cameroon, which is the divide and rule system to just sow discord amongst Ambazonians and cause enmity and strife amongst Ambazonians.
The resilience of the people of Mar must be commended, and an attitude for Ambazonians to emulate. The brave people of Mar village stood their ground and risked their properties and lives to protect the Ambazonian State Army. And if it is true that those who have been collaborating with the colonial forces against the Ambazonian State Army out of fear should please desist with an immediate effect. There is nothing one can lose that is bigger than losing the entire country of Ambazonia to the enemy. They should copy the bravery of the people of Mar and speed out the La Republic to Cameroon's colonial forces. To those who are still in doubt, it is now even more obvious the La Republic de Cameroon's terrorizing forces cannot be for Southern Cameroons, just like their government. They will only use you to betray your people, your brothers and your sisters. And when they are done with you, they will definitely leave you stranded.
Well, in another positive feat involving the ASA, the Ambazonian State Army in Mile 29 Ekona has shown resilience by successfully chasing out colonial La Republic military. And this happened in the early hours of today, which is a ghost town day in the entire Ambazonian territory. The ghost town spirit in the people of Ambazonia is such that nobody nor influence can dissuade the people of Ambazonia from not respecting the ghost town. Today was not different from the other ghost town Mondays in Ambazonia, but just that this particular Monday is significant as the ASA came out in full scale to establish their name in the face of the colonial La Republic military.
The fierceness of the ASA is always seen when the need to protect the people of Ambazonia arises. The Ambazonian State Army not only adopts an aggressive position but also offers a chance for peace, urging La Republic de Cameroon forces to surrender their weapons and promising them safe passage to neutral grounds. It's a call to avoid more violence and seek safety. The ASA is calling on all Ambazonians and their supporters worldwide to stand together for justice, freedom, peace, and independence. They ask for solidarity and continued support in their important fight. This message is clear. They will defend their cause until the end. We'll keep you updated on the situation, but for now, let's hope for safety and well-being of everyone at the home front.
Into news from the rest of Africa. Here's a breaking news reaching Undaunted that bring lights to some skeletons that have been long seated in the cupboard. Kunta, also known as My Country People from Widdicombe, who had been working with the colonial administration to fight against the true fighters on the ground, has revealed some grim details about his enthusiastic sabotage on the struggle for liberation. Kunta confesses that he has extensive connections and influence with various in the groups involved in the Ambazonian conflict, including the presidency and its military, as he claims.
Kunta also mentioned having direct communications with government officials, military personnel, and even members of the Ambazonian forces, also mentioning being informed about certain events and actions within the conflict, such as his death and surrender of Shina Rambo, amongst many other shocking revelations. Now, let's hear it directly from him as he spills the beans.
The answer is simple. I am very competent and very experienced. I have tentacles everywhere. I have people. I talk face to face, one on one, with the Minister of Communications in Cameroon, the Minister of Territorial Administration, the Minister of Defense, the Secretary General of the Presidency, and a bunch of other ministers. I have those types of connections, even with the military on the ground. It is not a secret, just simply letting you know. Even with the president himself, it is not once or twice. Anytime I come to Cameroon, I have an audience, even with the Amba terrorists on the ground. I have connections with them one-on-one. Who informed you of RK's death? Wasn't I the one? How did I know? I was on the ground. Wasn't I in London enjoying life? That question is stupid because you should have known. I do my job. I am competent. I am here to destroy Ambazonian terrorism. To do that, I have created the necessary grounds. I have infiltrated all the Ambazonian terrorist groups, be it on WhatsApp or I communicate with them. How do you think we move them to the bushes all the time? We help with them. Isn't Shinarambo Nopiti's brother? Who informed you that we had killed Nopiti? Wasn't I the one? Who informed you that Shinarambo had surrendered? Wasn't I the one? How do you think we made Shinarambo surrender if I wasn't in contact with him? We communicate with them. Wasn't I the one who told you that we hit Oliver Lekiaka in lead with a stick on his head? How did I know about that? I was the one who sent a team of 4 people who hit him on his head. I am not hiding it. I am the one. I masterminded the whole thing. We pleaded with the Cameroonian military to go kill the fool, but they did not. So I killed the fool myself. You keep asking stupid questions, not even knowing when someone has done a clear and visible job like this. Before even taking action, I inform you of what I am to do. I do it and then show you the results, and you still doubt me. Yesterday, I had a live broadcast, and I explained everything that transpired with Efang, aka Big Number. In May 2023, I sent a message to Efang at the time he caught Commander Batman and the Savior in Batibo in an Amber versus Amber battle. You know the idiots kill each other, right? So I sent a public message to Efang. I still have the video and I can send it to you if you want me to. In the video, to kill Savior and Batman since he held them captive. I told him to kill them before I got to him. I also mentioned that if he killed them, his life would be prolonged. This is if you let them go, they will come for revenge, is what I advised Efang to do. But he didn't, and instead chose to release it. What later happened? Another I come here. Presently, at this embankment, we the blacks. So I work together with the same. Didn't you see the video? Savior put in this 23. He sent it direct to Efang. He said, I'm coming to you, just as I told Efang in 23. Now it is 2023. The Savior he refused to kill as I now working for me as a black. It was all the information we needed to head back into those bushes, and even before he went back into those bushes, he told Efang public in a video, which I was the one who published. The video is still on our Facebook up to date. Speak. November 2023. is only about 4 months ago. So after sending that public warning to Efang, Efang played deaf. So what happened at the end of January 2024? Xavier led the military Y village Ashong and inside Batibo. They shot Efang just as I predicted in May 2023. By the 5th of January 2024, Efang with a stomach rushed to Bingo Hospital to receive treatment. Do you think I knew that? As soon as I was picked out of I was the first to publish it. How did I know? The full audio we would display small remains at the Gusang Market Square. Did I know? I work for the results and even see the results yourself. I don't just speak. The corpse was even just as I wanted it to be done. The corpse was open as it smelled at the Gusang Market Square. Yes, job well done. Why would you even ask me a stupid question like that? Someone is competent. It does a neat job. It is not magic. It is just hard work.
Well, this is that serves is who he very sad.
And then we'll take a look at Niger, whose junta recently stated on television that they no longer believe the presence of the U.S. military in the country is justified. And this comes after high-level discussions between Niger and U.S. Niger is an important location for U.S. military operations in the Sahel region, where they learned about the spread of jihadist violence. The junta spokesperson mentioned suspension of operations, with the U.S. criticized U.S. flights over these territories. The U.S. has invested in training Niger's military. Our support was rejected after the military in July. Sees the U.S. tone as condescending and a threat to Niger's. France has also withdrawn its troops from the country.
The junta in Niger suspended military cooperation with the U.S. because they believed the U.S. tone was condescending and they felt their sovereignty was being threatened. They had concerns about the recent U.S. fights over Niger's territory and decided to take action. This West could have various implications for Niger. It may impact the country's security and counter-terrorism efforts, as well as its relationship with other international partners. Niger will need to reassess its military strategy and explore alternative avenues for support and collaboration.
Now, the situation will also have broader diplomatic and geopolitical consequences in the region. It remains to be seen how Niger will navigate these challenges and seek to protect its national interests. The suspension of military cooperations between Niger and the U.S. may lead to a re-evaluation of alliances and partnerships as a shift in the balance of power. The countries in the region may also reassess their relationships with the US and consider alternative options for security operations. Now, this situation could potentially impact regional stability and the ability to effectively address security challenges in the Sahel. The diplomatic landscape in the region may undergo changes as countries seek to navigate these developments and protect their own interest.
Meanwhile, Senegal's main opposition leader pledges to assist security victory in the March 24th election. Ousmane Sonko, opposition leader, has made a strong declaration to support his team in winning Senegal's upcoming presidential election. The ballot, his release from prison has sparked both celebration and politics in Dakar, the capital. Many Senegalese citizens demonstrate in jubilation, reigniting their enthusiasm for the election and the country's democratic stability. Sonko, known for his charisma and his role as a tax collector and mayor, is viewed as the main challenger to President Macteu's governing party. His ally, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has been named the opposition presidential candidate. Sonko's the need to combat government corruption and protect Senegal's economy from foreign influence. These recent events have once again tested Senegal's reputation as a stable nation in West Africa, as it has held elections in a row since gaining independence from France in 1960. The celebrations in Dakar show the enthusiasm of Senegal for democracy and stability. Sonko's focus on corruption and protecting the economy resonates with me. Senegal's reputation as a stable nation is being trusted. This is where we get to see the strength of its democratic processes.
While climate is still within the entire world, South Sudan's government is shutting down all schools from Monday due to an as temperatures could reach 45 degrees Celsius. In a school without open time will have its registration withdrawn. The government will monitor the situation and provide updates. Peter Garad, a resident of Juba, supports the decision and suggests connecting schools to the electricity for air conditioning. The faces challenging climate change, amongst others, making living conditions difficult for its residents. The World Food Program continues to provide assistance to vulnerable people in the country. Sub-Saharan Africa has indeed experienced some of the highest in the last decade. The region has been grappling with increasing frequent and intense heat waves, which have had significant impact on the environment, agriculture, and the health of population. It is a concerning trend that highlights the urgent need for climate action and adaptation measures to mitigate the effect of extreme heat in the region. Extreme heat waves can pose several health risks. The scorching temperatures can lead to heat-related illnesses such as heat exhaustion and even heat stroke. These conditions occur when the body's ability to regulate temperature is over. Symptoms like dizziness, diarrhea, headache, rapid heartbeat, even loss of consciousness. Dehydration is also occurring as excessive sweat causes fluid loss. Vulnerable individuals such as the elderly, young children, and those with pre-existing medical conditions are at higher risk, and it's essential to stay hydrated, seek shade, wear lightweight and breathable clothing, avoid strenuous activities during extreme heat waves to prevent these health risks. Oh well, that will get into the news from across the
Meanwhile, for leaders across Putin, inevitable landslide win in an election without true opposition was a reminder of his tight control over Russia's political arena as his war against Ukraine grinds on. Chinese leader Xi Jinping, the leaders benefiting from Putin's rejection of a Western-led global order, will be cheering his victory. With 9.8% of ballots counted, Putin's amassed 87.3% of vote, according to preliminary results reported on Monday morning by the Election Commission.
And for BRICS new path for economic autonomy, recent movements that could reverberate through the fabric of the global order. Countries, Brazil, Russia, and South Africa, along with new additions, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, and the United Arab Emirates are steadily paving towards de-dollarization and reshaping financial dynamics on a worldwide scale. By an innovative blockchain-powered BRICS payment system, these nations are boldly challenging the established dollar dominance and introducing possibilities for a multipolar world order. Here's a closer look at the key implications of these seismic changes.
Meanwhile, North Korea has an unspecified ballistic missile towards the East Sea. North Korea fired an unspecified ballistic towards the East Sea on Monday, the South Korean military has said. The Joint Chief of Staff said it had the launch, but did not give full detail. The Japanese coast said a suspected Korean ballistic missile landed in the ocean. It marks the North's second ballistic missile launch of the year since the first on 13th of January. Fired a solid fuel intermediate range ballistic missile carrying a hypersonic warhead. Pyongyang conducted 5 rounds of cruise missile tests this year, raising concerns over the weapon and the weapon system, which are harder to detect.
Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez started that Spain Parliament recognizes a Palestinian state. In his words, he said, "I will propose granting Spain's recognition to the Palestinian state." Sanchez said this, "I do this out of moral conviction for a just cause, because it is the way that the two states, Israel and Palestine, can live together in peace."
That the momentum has come, the international community, Union and members to recognize the state of Palestine. And I think it would be worth the important for many union. We do it all together. But if this is not the case, of course, Spain will take their own decisions.
Well, Sanchez added his voice to a chorus of other European leaders and government officials who have said that they could support a two-state solution in the Middle East as international frustration grows with Israel's actions in the Palestinian territories. Interestingly, French President Emmanuel Macron said last month that it's not taboo for France to recognize the Palestinian state. So since not a taboo, why not help the ongoing war in Ambazonian it is? Why not project Ambazonian like the Spanish Prime Minister has done?
All right, and with that, for a report, we've come to the end of our introduction. Before we take a look at major stories.
On Unfiltered tonight, brought to you, Larry Public Terrorist Forces brutally trashing Ambazonians for unwillingness to expose the whereabouts of the ASA. As well, the ASA and Kona successfully chasing the colonial Larry Public Cameroon occupational forces down enforcement. Colonial City Council Mayor ignores traders' strike of asking all to pay the increased rent or forever remain.
Meanwhile, Niger's junta ends its military relations with the United States. Not just that, 6 more years of Putin will distract many countries, but China says it. And with that, we've come to the end tonight. On the entire Undaunted crew, we say thank you for tuning in.
We leave with these TV images. Good night. God bless you.